I get it. I feel, do you think life is luck, or do you think it's hard work, or do you think you're lucky and privileged to be where you are, or is there a certain...
There's a really, really good quote, and it's like, luck is opportunity meets preparation.
Oh, I love
So,
that one.
yeah, my life
Yeah.
is very, very, very lucky. But I mean, like, I was prepared for the lucky breaks that came by. But I mean, like, the only reason I was prepared is because of because of luck, right? Like for the streaming stuff, for instance, the reason why nobody streamed in the early days is right now you use a program called OBS, right? So you use OBS and it does everything for you. Back in my day, you needed a program called, I think we used Camtasia was what it was called. So Camtasia was a program that just captured your video device and then it outputted into another box. And then you would have to download a program. We used a program called Virtual Audio Cable. Virtual Audio Cable is a program that would route different audio channels to one output. So you'd use Virtual Audio Cable, you'd set up multiple channels so that all of your audio would be routed to one thing. Then you'd have your camera. Then we used another program called Flash Media Live Encoder. And then you'd have to go and find a coder, an encoder that you could plug into that program. And then with Flash Media Live Encoder, you would route the Camtasia output to the Virtual Audio Cable output. And then all of that would be routed to an RTMP server that you would use to stream. This is like how we had to stream like that. And when we did that, we had 400 kilobits a second to fucking stream. So like the fact that I was able to figure all that shit out, like gave me a huge head up because no offense, but most gamers and people are just like tech retarded. I don't know much at all. And I was able to figure all that out. But the only reason I was able to figure that out is because I was lucky enough to grow up like with a family computer in the family room. So I was able to mess around with stuff, right? So that's like I put in the work to figure out all the streaming stuff, but I was lucky that I grew up in an environment where I could even be exposed to computers and shit, right?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Because a lot of people would call me lucky a lot, and it kind of aggravates me to some extent because it discredits all the work that I put into. Like I did not settle, and that's very rare. A lot of people settle for a career that they're like, oh, I'm not going to make it. Let me just settle for this option. It's the safest option, and I refused to settle forever. And I didn't make a video that went viral until I was 31 years old, and it worked to my benefit. And I think that a lot of people discredit how much work and honor and courage it goes into this whole thing. So I always want to talk to people and see do they think it's luck or think what it is. But I agree that a lot of the situations that I've been in were luck.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't prepared for those opportunities or willing to have the courage to seize them, then I wouldn't have been in this place. So it's like some constant duality between two things.
Yeah, I think I tend to push. It just depends on who I'm talking to, because some people will say things like, "Oh, like there was no luck involved whatsoever," and it's like, bro, you're lucky to be born in the United States. You could have been born in fucking Somalia or something, So that in and of itself is already kind of lucky. But then other people say like, "Oh, like it's all luck. Like if you're a billionaire, you're just lucky," and it's like nobody becomes a billionaire by being just lucky, right? Like there's going to be some amount of like high skill or like, oh, CEOs don't do anything. It's like, come on, dude. So yeah, I mean, there's a balance. Like I said, I think it's that. Luck is opportunity meets preparation, and the opportunity sometimes can be lucky. That's like a lucky break, but and the preparation can be lucky. But there's also like skill that goes into both, right? Opportunity can be you busting your ass to network in the right ways to meet the right people, and then the opportunities present themselves because you put yourself in an environment where those opportunities show up. Or the preparation could be that you do some menial labor or some job in college or something like that, and then in the future, like you're more prepared for an opportunity that comes by as well. Yeah.
So what advice would you give, young men and women that are trying to seize the opportunity and when it's the luck shows? Like, growing up, age 18, however old you want to start at.
Yeah, my stuff is so cringe, and it might just because I have super ADHD and nobody likes to hear it. If I could go back in time and give myself like you have to do this fucking thing, I would say like at the very least, motherfucker, 30 minutes a night on homework. Just like focus more on school. It helps you so much in life. There's so much of your life is improved if you just try a little bit harder in school. I could have had like a full ride scholarship to college. Like I know obviously things worked out well for me, but like I was just so fucking lazy in school. And the thing is when you're in school, you don't realize how much life sucks until you're out of school. And then you have to work a shit job, and you have to work every fucking day to pay bills in a place that you don't like, for a life that you hate, that you're trapped in forever, and all you're thinking is like, fuck, I'm going to work at 7-Eleven today, and I could have just like spent 30 more minutes on my Algebra 1 homework. So I'd say study more. I say another thing I would say is that's one, and another thing I say, don't take your health for granted. So like just a little bit of like exercise or working out. Like I don't think there's any reason not to be into like strength training if you're like a young person. It could be going to the gym twice a week, but whatever it is, like starting those habits early on, they stay with you for life. And if you go too far gone, like if you get into like the obese BMI range, coming back is so fucking hard. As long as you have your health, you should like pay at least the slightest bit of attention to things like diet and exercise. Again, it doesn't have to be like 7 days a week. Like I'm only eating like the purest of fucking foods, but just like a little bit of attention to it, I think is good.
Yeah, I eat really healthy, and then yesterday I had 2 Cokes and a Sprite, so I was, divulging, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So the transition you made from